Good evening, good afternoon. Anderson Emerald here. We back for another live stream. Today we have a lot on the docket, really just focusing in on previewing two meets, the Lausanne Diamond League, which is happening this Thursday, and then also the Silesia Diamond League, which is happening on Sunday. So it's gonna be some good stuff coming up, but appreciate y'all for jumping in. We're coming off a bunch of back-to-back, championships between the Commonwealth Games, the World U20 champs, the obviously the European champs. There was just the CAC games like in between then as well, but like tons and tons of championships that happened, and now we right back to the Diamond League. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But yeah, we got a couple things on the docket. So yeah, primarily today, two main focuses: the Lausanne Diamond League, just previewing because they got all the entries there, and then also the Silesia Diamond League. All the entries are at least listed, so we'll see what's up. Yes, Elaine Thompson here, she did drop out, or at least she's not, she's no longer listed, so we're not going to see her. So we'll talk about that for sure. We'll talk about that for sure. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. We are back up. Yeah, Dynamics. Let me know what the question is. Definitely let me know what the question is, because I'm always curious. I forgot. I think when I was talking about in the quick video I did on the European Women's 400, I was trying to test my mind on like, okay, who are the all-time European 400 meter women, and I forgot Olga Brezgina. But yeah, let me know what the question is. But yeah, Elaine, she pulled out. Unfortunately, your pick is Sha'Carri, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, Juju, and then Shericka. Not mad at that. Shericka's gonna challenge Juju. And yes, we are back. Nah, Melissa got this one. Yeah, we gonna tap into it. We gonna tap into this Lausanne Women's 100, or I'm sorry, Silesia Women's 100 meters. Lausanne, Shericka's gonna be in the 200. The Silesia Men's Silesia, the men's 100 is crazy. Literally every single athlete is in the men's 100 except for Noah Lyles. Like literally every single person. Oblique Seville, Ajayi, you have Jordan Anthony, you have Trayvon Bromell, Christian Coleman, Kenny B. Like everyone is there. Like literally everyone is there. So that men's 100, we'll talk about it. We're gonna preview all these things. So we'll see. Yeah, we were getting we were getting no breaks with the sport, back-to-back championships, and now Diamond League's back. Yeah, like it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All back-to-back. So yeah, stack week of track and field. Again, today we're going to dive in and talk about the Lausanne Diamond League. We're going to preview that. That's coming up in a few days, actually on Thursday. And then we're also going to preview the Silesia Diamond League, which is happening on Sunday. So we'll be diving into those two. Okay, and I'm gonna get to the question dynamics. And then yeah, good to see Owen Ansah with getting his last races in before his ban, which is just weird, man. I don't know. But okay, so you said, let's see. So it's not really a trivia, but who does Henriette Jaeger remind you of? A specific short stature 400 runner, same size with power and long stride. She's a beast even before the drugs. Is it Yurmila Kratochvilova, or is it someone else? That's who first came to mind. And obviously it's like I don't want to be with the accusations, but is it, because I can't think of any other like short stature 400 meter runner, same size and power. Is this like more modern times? Like, is this 90s and later, or is it someone from the 80s? So I'm trying to think of like a short stature 400 runner who's a beast even before. Maybe no, Freeman was 90s era short stature. Nah, I'm not gonna get this. I mean, I first was thinking Kathy Freeman, but then Kathy Freeman is not like short in stature and isn't like, at least to me, she doesn't look like like Henriette Jaeger does. Is it Brezgina? No, can't be. Brezgina won gold in 92, but like, I don't know. Short stature. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. 400 runner from the 90s? Yo, I don't know. From Germany? I genuinely don't know. and I'm gonna be like, oh, Grit. Oh, yes. Okay. See, I'm gonna be honest. Grit was not on my mind. I was not thinking about Grit. Okay. that makes sense. That actually does. That actually does make. Let me see. That actually does make sense now that you kind of like bring her up. I'm gonna be honest, not on my mind at all. But I'm gonna bring this up on the screen. But I could actually, yeah, I can kind of see the similar aspects to Henry Yeager. Actually, yeah, this is a good. I don't know why she was not on my mind at all. But that's a good call. Okay, that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Ooh, nice. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Henriette Yeager is she's making some moves. She's making some moves. And also, shout out to all the athletes. I apologize, as I know I'd be struggling and I'd be trying, but like I definitely be making some like very, very blatant mistakes with like pronunciation. So I'm gonna try better, because I'd be making some serious mistakes. But appreciate all the athletes for everything and appreciate y'all too. Okay, so before we dive in, I know a couple people jumping in. Let me see. Let me just pull up. I know people were saying like Nasser, but no, Nasser is still active. Yes, Lausanne is only 200 for both men and women. There's no 100. Essentially, Lausanne has 200s. Silesia has the 100s for both men and women. So we'll see all of that there. 3 Diamond League meets in 7 days is quite a lot. There's going to be a number of scratches. I mean, yeah, we already got Elaine scratching from the 100 in Silesia. You know, we definitely will, because we essentially have Lausanne, we have Silesia, and then we have Zurich. And then after Zurich is when, is going to be the Diamond League final in Brussels. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah. You think Wero should go for the world record in Lausanne with just Femke or Odira, or wait for Zurich when Keely and Georgia join them? I say in Lausanne if she's not tired after Euros. I think Zurich makes more sense, because Lausanne is literally this Thursday, so she's just coming off the European gold medal. I think Lausanne is like, obviously she's competing in her home country of Switzerland. So she's going to go to the Diamond Leagues in Switzerland. Lausanne is just like the bounce back from European championships after getting the gold medal. Zurich, I think, is going to be the true race, because obviously that's where, you know, everyone is going to be there between Keely, Georgia, Femke, and Odira, right? They're all going to be in that field, right, along with Vero. So I think Zurich is where Vero and all of them actually go for it. Lausanne is probably, because again, Lausanne is coming up in 2 days, so I don't know. But okay. Yep, women's 100. We'll get to these races for sure. What you call it? Oh yeah, when you're talking about Nasser whereabouts violation, but Sha'Carri probably thinks she was on drugs. I remember the post that Sha'Carri made like right after Nasser was given her ban or whatever, and she was tight. She was like mad. And I think it's still up on her Instagram. So yeah. It's Amy Hunt. Yeah, we're gonna dive into it. Amy Hunt is in the 200 in Lausanne for sure. Jeff Whiteman has struggled with the names too during the intros at Euros, especially the Greek teams in the relays. Yeah. And yeah, I got to do better. I got to do better, because like I'm at home, for the most part. Not for the most part. I'm definitely at home, so I make mistakes. So, but as I say it, yeah, as long as you're doing a better job with names than some of the commentators, you're good. I mean, I hope so. Sometimes I'd be ODing, but yeah, I appreciate it. Oh yes, and good point. 800-meter world record attempt is also weather dependent. Like it's literally all, because what you could get, who knows? It could be raining, it could be windy, it could be, like I remember, well, this was Brussels 2024. I went to the Diamond League final. Brussels was like pouring rain and cold, right? But then, I went to like Zurich and it was beautiful. So who knows, right? All these kind of things depend on weather for sure. Actually, yeah, one of the times I went to Zurich, and I think maybe 2023 Zurich, one of those times I went to Zurich, it was like pouring rain too. So it's mixed. Kayla White, yes, Kayla White is in the 200 in Lausanne. We'll talk about, we'll dive into these races. We'll talk about it. I know someone asked about the finals for Silesia. And let me see. Okay. So, and then just last things, and I'll dive in. What you call it? So Julien is either not running the 200 at Ultimates, or she's running it at the Diamond League final because she's not in Lausanne and needs one more race. So, that's actually interesting. maybe we'll talk. No, I don't even have time. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I was gonna say like, yes, she's not in Lausanne. Maybe she'll run it at the Diamond League final. I don't know if she will. I know Melissa Jefferson Wooden is not competing at the Diamond League final in any event. But there's also the world where Julien only focuses in on the 100 at ultimates. Like you said, maybe she skips the 200, or she gets a wild card from like World Athletics. Cause like they can give one, I forget what they call it, but they can give one thing for it. They could pick one athlete who's like really at their best, and they could, have them run at the World Ultimate Champs if they haven't qualified. And no, Julien is not in the rankings for World Ultimate Championships because she only has 4 200-meter races. And I'll just pull this up very quickly. You need 5 races for to be in the rankings. You just need 5 races over the course of essentially the past year, since September last year. So many athletes like Shericka Jackson, she hasn't run 5 races this year, but she has run 5 races in the past year, right? So you add in her world championship races from last year, her 3 races from last year, and then you add her 200 races, right? But Julien Alfred, Julien Alfred is not on this list because she has only run 4 races in this past calendar year. Because remember, she pulled out of the 200 at the World Ultimate Championships. So that's why she's not in the top 16. But once she runs another race in the 200, so hypothetically, if she runs in Zurich, she'll be in the ranking. Like she automatically is going to be in the ranking because she is she has 4 races. All you need is just 1 more. So yeah, that's we'll see. It's something to think about for sure. Let me see. A Deja Haj, maybe. Well, let me pull up real quick, and I'm gonna get to these previews. Appreciate everyone for jumping in. Let me just double check. I guess a Deja Haj also doesn't have. No, she must. Well, okay, so. No, so maybe let me. Oh no, that's interesting actually. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know now because I don't know why I did that. Hold up, I actually don't know now because she's not on the 100-meter list either. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know exactly why, and this actually might tell the story of Julien Alfred as well. Athletes got an invite from World Athletics recently. So I think in the past week or two, athletes who were like safely in the top 16, I think maybe the top 10 or so athletes, maybe top 12 or something like that, they got an invite from World Athletics saying, you have qualified to compete at the World Ultimate Championships. Do you accept your spot? If athletes did not accept their spot, then World Athletics removed them from this list, right? So, for example, if you look at the women's 400, right, you would expect to see Sydney here because she's the reigning world champion. She has a wild card, but she's not on this list because she declared that she is not going to be competing at the World Ultimate Championships, right? Same thing with just in the, is it the 5? Where's it at? Women's 5,000. Beatrice Chebet. She also declared that she is not competing at these at the World Ultimate Championships. Obviously, both Sydney and Beatrice are, starting a family. So Beatrice is not on this list because she told World Athletics that she's not competing. Deja Haj already committed that she's not going to be competing at the World Ultimate Championships. So that's why she's not on this list. And she's also not on the 100-meter list as well. So they just removed her. Same thing, I think, with Dejanay Oakley, who also is going back to school. I'm pretty sure, yeah, she's no longer on the list. So Dejanay Oakley, who also would be here, she confirmed with World Athletics, yes, I got the invite, but I'm actually not going to be going to World Ultimate Champs. So they essentially, I think before this this second leg of the season, World Athletics, World Athletics essentially cleared out the queue to make sure that athletes understand where they sit in the rankings, right? So that's, I think, why a Deja Haj, Dejanay Oakley, obviously Sydney McLaughlin-Vroni, Beatrice Chebet, et cetera, that's why they're not listed. So I think that explains it. And yes, like you have athletes like Melissa Jefferson Wooden. She told me she's trying to do the double. So she's here in the 100 and she's here in the 200. Like she's listed for both. She said she's trying to do the double. Noah Lyles, same thing. He's trying to do the double. I wonder if his health issues change that, but he's still in the 100, and then he's also here in the 200, right? And also for context, another example, Kashane Thompson, he's no longer listed in the 100. He used to be earlier in the season, but they took him off because they reached out and said, hey, you've qualified for World Ultimate Champs. Do you want to compete? He's probably said, no, my season's done. I'm not competing. So they took his name off to allow for the lower level athletes to actually be able to move up and potentially secure their spots for the rest of the season. So yeah, that actually makes sense. And this is a good call out because I'm going to put out a video on the World Ultimate Champs in there. Noah got a cramp at USA's, and then recently on his Instagram, he said that like his hamstring is healing or something like that, but he'll be at World Ultimate Champ. So we'll see what's up. Kashane got injured. Kashane did have enough races because the 100 and the 60 meters counted for qualifying into the 100 at World Ultimate Champs. So Kashane was ranked like number 4. I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, Kashane was ranked number 4 in the 100. It was either number 4 or number 3 or something like that, because he got all his races from the World Championships in Tokyo, all the races indoors in the 60 where he ended up getting a silver medal. So he was set, you know what I'm saying? So, but Kashane, I mean, he was injured, so he just pulled out end of this year. So yeah, Noah definitely on the list for both 100 and 200. He's confirmed for Ultimates. We'll do the double. Yep. Yeah. And okay, you said this is the most confusing. I just outlined it. Adeja closed her season from Commonwealth. Yes. And as I was explaining, World Athletics will still reach out to any athlete who is in the ranking and confirm that you are no longer competing. I don't know if that wasn't, I mean, maybe you can cross-check and like see, like, you know, they have to logistically take athletes off of the ranking, but they have to confirm, right? Like, you know, a post on Instagram or something like that, you know, World Athletics actually has to go through the clear process. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's just dive in and talk about the Lausanne Diamond League. So we're going to start off with just a few different, you know, events. Starting off, men's triple jump. I'm personally excited for this. We have Andy Diaz-Hernandez. He, of course, is coming off the, oh, my bad. Okay, on the screen. Lausanne Diamond League. Triple jump for the men. Previewing just all the different events, starting off with the triple jump. So Andy Diaz-Hernandez, he is coming off the 8.15 meter jump that he had at the European Championships just a few days ago. Obviously moved him up to number 4 all time. Very excited to see how he continues, you know, with his season, what he does here. I know like he's close to the world record and he had like one of those very big fouls, but I'm very hesitant to say, okay, he's like the world record is about to be attacked, right? Because we've seen it in 2024 with Jordan Diaz Fortune. We've seen it in 2015 with Christian Taylor. We've seen it in 2018, I think, with Will Clay. So everyone has gotten close, and sure, the world record is in reach, but I'm just more excited to like watch the consistency continue to play out versus like, oh my gosh, hanging on for the world record. But you know, who knows? Obviously, I'm gonna be excited. I love the triple jump. But shout out to Andy Diaz-Hernandez. Dale Valle, he just got the bronze medal at European Champs. And then you have a very stacked field. Pichardo, he got the silver medal at European Champs. He's looking to he's looking to get the gold medal at the World Championships this year. Actually, yeah, defend his title. Jordan Scott is back in here. Yasser Tricky. So good men's triple jump field. I'm pretty excited. I'm very, very excited. Let me see. Oh, yeah. And they don't have this at World Ultimate Championships. They don't have the triple jump. So it'd be a crime if the men's triple jump world record gets broken and yet they won't have those, have the men at the World Ultimate Champs. It is unfortunate. That, again, I'm coming out with a video about the World Ultimate Champs. And I'm going to talk about, you know, some of those aspects because it's weird. It's unfortunate. But shout out to the men's triple jump. Few others that we do have on the docket as well. We have the men's 110 hurdles. That's going to be going down in Lausanne. Also a very, very stacked field that, you know, should be pretty good. I mean, we're talking about Jamal Britt. You're talking about Jacoby Tharp, obviously the top 2 guys in the world. Jacoby just broke the world record. Jamal, number 5 all time. Orlando Bennett coming off the silver from last year. You have Menendez, who's been on a roll this year. Jason Joseph just got the gold medal at the European Champs. Izumiya, right? So shout out to the men's 110 hurdles. Very, very high quality field. I chill on the hammer. The hammer throw is kind of crazy. In terms of getting rid of the hammer throw, but I don't know, man. Okay. After that, Grant, yeah, Grant. I have no idea. I have no idea if Grant is gonna. I have no idea about Grant. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. He has the wild card to the World Ultimate Champs. He's still listed on the road to World Ultimate Champs, which gives me the, at least I checked it yesterday. Yeah, he's still listed, which gives me the indication that he's still probably going to compete. But I guess we'll see. We'll see. He did hurdles, I think, a month ago. He went over the hurdles for the first time, so we'll see if he actually does compete or if he's like, nah, I can't do it, because I don't know. Maybe he wants to save himself for next year and for the next World Ultimate Champ. So we'll see what's up. Okay, next one, men's long jump. Men's long jump is, I mean, European Champs was already crazy, and now we're getting almost like a rerun right back into it, right? We got the my bad, hold up. We got the European champion, Miltiades Tenteglou. He is right back in it. Obviously, he's a world leader at 8.66. He's also jumped 8.6, I think, 2 times this year. Three times this year, because he jumped 8.65. And then he also, in his 8.66, he had one of the jumps was an 8.6 series in the series as well. So shout out to Tenteglou. You have Sarah Boykov, who got the bronze medal at the European Champs. You have Simone Ehammer, who got the silver medal. And then you have Balde, you have Anvarov, right? You have Hodelin, you have Wayne Pinnock, who's back into it. So, and obviously Tajay Gale. So stacked field. Shout out to Luka from Serbia. So 100% stacked field in the men's long jump. Very excited to see how this plays out. And if maybe, they were jumping into headwinds at European Championships, depending on what the weather is like in Lausanne, this could be very, very good. And they're going to be at World Ultimate Champ. So we'll see what's up. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to predict like any world lead. Like the thing is, like, exactly as we saw European Champs, if the wind was turned around, if the wind was in the other direction, we probably would have seen a world lead. But like, we just so happen to be jumping into headwinds. So it's basically impossible to predict like if there is going to be a world lead or not, because the conditions are impossible to really predict. Even if it's like good weather, if the wind is like in their face, it's like, it's tough. So, but I do think that Tenteglou would have improved his personal best at least if the wind was in the other direction, right? Because he was jumping into, he had like a headwind of like plus 2 point something, right? If it was just plus 1.9, I'm sorry, headwind of negative 2 point something. If it was like plus 1.9, plus 2.0, he would have jumped like 8.6. He would have jumped like 8.7 maybe. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But yeah, wind will hopefully be better than at Euros. I got Tenteglou with the win, 8.6 meters with good win. Yeah, so I pretty much agree with this. I think the world lead is possible, and I think 8.6 is possible, but it's like conditions dependent. So we'll see how that actually does pan out. So also another stacked field. Let's jump back into the hurdles. We have the women's 100-meter hurdles. This is also, I mean, it's always stacked, but also a very, very stacked field once again. And now we're going to see the return of Masai Russell. She's going to be in the field. Renaya Jones, Alicia Johnson, Aaliyah Armstrong. All of them obviously were at USA's except for Masai. Ditachi Kumbunji just missed out on a medal at the European Champs. She's been dealing with various injuries throughout the year. Demisha Roswell, obviously she was done dirty, couldn't compete at the Commonwealth Games. She's going to be back in the mix. Pia Skrzydłowska just got the gold medal over Nadine Visser by a hair at the European Champs. One of my favorite races, even at the time, wasn't like absolutely crazy. So this is a good stack field, and I'm ready to get back into seeing these women hurdlers like just like bang out some great performances and some great competition. Shout out to Real Talk with T. She just did an interview with Masai Russell, so definitely check that out. Really, really good interview. I actually appreciated kind of like how she broke down her transition from college into the pros and like, the contract negotiations and like how she had like a lot of pressure to like sign with the shoe brand, but like, she didn't want it. It's like kind of crazy. So definitely check that out on T's YouTube page actually. So we'll see. And yeah, Masai is obviously the favorite, I'm saying, like she's obviously the favorite here, but it'll be interesting to see how she does fare after a whole month plus off, and how everyone else also does fare in races like these. So that'll be exciting. And yes, unfortunately, no discus. Again, we got to talk about World Ultimate Championships. We'll talk about it. If we have time at the end of this as well, we'll talk about it. Women's 400-meter hurdles. This also is returning after some time on the circuit. Obviously, Emma Zaptalova has been, just like cooking all over throughout for the better part of the year. She's going to be in this field. Just won the gold medal at the European Championships. Gianna Woodruff coming off a good showing, right, at the CAC Games. Jasmine Jones back on the circuit. She skipped out on USA's, but she's right back in here. You have Diallo from Portugal. You have Pauline from Belgium. You have Anna Cockrell, of course. She won USA's. Rochelle Clayton, Kemi Adekoya. So very strong field across the board. This is pretty much, maybe Dalilah Muhammad, I think, would be the only other athlete here, but that's missing. But like, this is probably like the top, and there's a few others, not only Dalilah Muhammad, but these are the top women. Like, you're looking at probably the best field, in 2026 in the 400 hurdles for the most part. This is one of the higher quality fields, just a few key names missing, but this is a good field. So shout out to the women's 400 hurdles here in Lausanne. And for those just jumping in, we're previewing the Lausanne Diamond League. We're going to, of course, focus in on the women's 200 and men's 200 here, but, be diving in a second to a few more. And just to circle back to the hurdles, I wonder how Masai will look now with only a few weeks till Ultimate. Yeah, exactly. And after the time off, but she's going to be here. There's also women's 100 hurdles in Zurich and then also in Brussels. So we'll see how that pans out. There may also be one in Silesia, maybe just not a Diamond League event. Oh, my bad. I apologize. I did get that wrong. Nadine Visser won the gold medal in the women's 100-meter hurdles, not Pia. I apologize. I got it wrong. Nadine Visser got her first outdoor gold medal. Sincere apologies, Nadine. Yes, got that gold medal at European Championships. Okay, so you said Sydney has desensitized me to these times in the 400 hurdles. Yeah, like, it actually is kind of crazy where Anna Cockrell running 52.7, Emma Zaptalova running 52.3, right? Jasmine Jones running 52.9. And we feel like these aren't super high quality, right? Emma with her 52.3 making her one of the best all time, but it's like, oh, Sydney ran 50 seconds. Femke ran 50 seconds and 51, right? Like, it almost like diluted how fast these times are. These are insane times. Okay, Silesia does have a 100 hurdle field, but it's just not Diamond League. Okay. This field will be like this until 2027. However, 2028 LA, I suspect Sydney is doubling up 400 meter hurdles and 400 meters. Maybe. So we'll see. Field event finals are straight finals with just 8 finalists each. So silly by World Athletics to not have all 8 field events. Yep. Let's see if we'll have time at the end to talk about World Ultimate Champs. Kambunji has been poor in the 100 hurdles. It's insane how far she dropped off. She's been injured. So literally that's all it is. She literally has just been dealing with injuries all throughout this year. So I wouldn't say she's been poor. She just got injured, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's, she just got injured. All right. So, we'll talk about Warholm in a few because he's going to be in the 400 hurdles in Poland. All right. So after this 400 hurdles in Lausanne, we have the, I'm going to, shout out to the men's 800 here. You got Marco Arope, you have Brandon Miller, you have Sajadi, you have Emmanuel Wignoni, right? Like, strong field across the board. Shout out to the men's 800. Definitely one to look out for. Coop and Lukerhaus has already ended his season. So, we're not going to see him anymore. But women's 800, this is going to be a pretty good actually, it's going to be a very good field. It just goes to what I noted a little bit before at the top of this, where I wonder how this race will play out. So in this women's 800 meters, and let me just note this down. In the women's 800 meters, you literally have everyone except for Keely Hodgkinson, right? Femke Borders Bowl, right in the mix. Sage Herta Klecker, right in the mix, right? You have Oratile from Botswana. You have Lilian Odira, world champion from last year, right? You have Rosamila from Switzerland. You have Prudence Segedicio, of course, always a mainstay. And you have all the other women, and then you have Audrey Vero as well. And shout out to Addie Wiley. So this is going to be a very high quality women's 800 meter field. But the thing that I question, there's like two lines of thought I have here. Audrey Vero, as well as Femke Borders Bowl, they're coming off, and then, a few others, but they're coming off the European Championships, literally just this past weekend, like a couple days ago. They are obviously they're the class of this field, right? I don't think anyone is in this field. Well, Lilian O'Dira, I'll get to her in a second. But in general, anyone outside of Lilian, they're not in the class of Femke and Audrey, right? But I wonder how much they push the pace, or they want to push the pace coming off of the European Championships. And also knowing they have the Zurich Diamond League, which is going to be adding Keely into the mix, and then you have World Ultimate Championships, right? I guess I'm curious, like, how Audrey Vero as well as Femke Borders-Bol are going to be balancing this race and how much effort they want to actually put into this race coming off of the European Championships. And then that goes into the everyone else discussion, specifically Lilian O'Dira, right? Lilian, she won the Prefontaine Classic, took down Keely Hodgkinson there. She's in some, got back into some good form. And her, along with Sage Herter-Klecker, along with Segedisio, right? Like, these athletes are not coming off. Same thing with Addie Wiley. They're not coming off a European Championships, a major championships. Addie Wiley was at USA's, but Lilian O'Dira didn't go to Commonwealth Games, if I'm correct, right? Someone could cross-check me, but like, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. Lilian O'Dira maybe is like, yo, this is my race to actually win, right? I can go out. These athletes, they're, they just came off a championship, 3 rounds. Audrey Vero just fell to the track, right? Had a kind of, really tough experience. Femke Borders-Bol, she had her first, first 3 rounds ever at a championship setting in the 800. Lilian O'Dira might be salivating at this kind of race. But again, Audrey and Femke are nothing to be played with, right? It's not like, oh, Lilian's just going to walk right by them. So that's why I'm unsure about how this race will actually play out and what we should look forward to, because it does depend. I guess I am in a similar kind of like thought process. Surprise, Audrey Vero and Femke Borders-Bol are running this race with Zurich a few days later with all the heavy hitters in that race. Again, that's my thought process as well. I thought they would take this off and focus on Zurich and then, of course, the Ultimate Championships. But I can understand Audrey, because this is in Switzerland, right? This is her home, at least country. So being in Lausanne and in Zurich makes sense. I'm surprised that Femke Borders-Bol, maybe she just wants to get more reps in coming off her first, major championship in the 800. So I don't know. But we'll see. You said Prudence. Okay. Prudence might upset. I don't know. Been seeing her in training with Caster. Interesting. Prudence is dangerous. Prudence is very dangerous, right? She's run 156 for a reason. So I'm mad at that. You said, so O'Dira is not here. Lilian O'Dira is here, reigning world champion. Women's 800 slowly joining the women's 100 hurdles club as far as most, maybe the most competitive event in track and field. Yeah, I think that the 800, you can make an argument it's more competitive to a degree, because like Masai Russell is there. Toby Amisan, in terms of like times and marks, is just behind. And then you have another set of athletes, right? You have the Megan Tappers, the Devin Charltons, right? Like, you have all those other athletes right behind. But when you look at Audrey Vero, when you look at Femke Borders-Bol, when you look at Keely Hodgkinson, when you look at Georgia Hunter-Bell, right? You're looking at women who have all run 155 or faster. And even though Audrey Vero, like, I don't think anyone's going to bet against Audrey in an 800 race as it stands now. Like, it wouldn't be a complete shock if Keely took down Audrey, or if Femke took down Audrey, right? Like, it wouldn't be a complete shock. And so I feel like it's more competitive, but I do think it's like, I think it is like women's 100 hurdles and then the women's 800. It's like, yo, these two events are cooking. They are cooking. So now I definitely hear that. Okay. Also want to add, following the video you made recently, I would like to see USATF do a 2 to 3 day weekends for the USA Olympic trials, then 6 days straight to give more doubles opportunities, but it's costly. Yeah. That's a good point. We can circle back to this for sure. That's interesting, actually. Don't sleep on Lilian, but Vero probably win anyways. I actually think that Audrey Vero could. I mean, I'm sorry, Lilian O'Dira could win this race. That's why I'm unsure, because it's like Lilian could really take advantage of this race and take advantage of the fact that Audrey and Femke are just coming off a global championship. So I don't know. Oh yes, we're gonna talk about Rai Benjamin in a second. Is Femke sticking to the 800? Femke is sticking with the 800 from here on out. She already committed to running the 800 at least through the Olympic Games in 2028. Like, she's an 800 runner now. Like, and if anything, what she's done this year has further justified that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. The 800 race is going to be like a lane after Olympics in 2021 with historic times, or it's significantly slower and back to 157, 158. I don't think it's going to go drop back down. I think that these women are going to continue to run fast because and more women are going to, continue to step it up as well. I mean, we just saw Bourgois in the Paris Diamond League. She also ran 155, right? Behind Audrey and Femke Bol. So like, there's a lot of women who are really going to be in the mix consistently. So we'll see. So we'll see how that plays out. Looking forward to see Prudence top 5 finish will do her good on such inconsistent season. Yeah, not mad at that. Let's see. I would say the women's 100 hurdles is more competitive than the 8, but this era now has the Bolt era disease where everyone avoids each other during the season. Yeah. Wait, everyone avoids each other. Wait, what you talking about? Which event? The women's... Oh, my bad. Women's 100 meters, not the 100-meter hurdles. So women's 100 meters, yes, but everyone avoids each other. Yes, 100%. Everyone avoids each other. It's actually kind of crazy. We're getting this race in Poland that we'll talk about later, but it's like everyone is avoiding each other. At the top of the year, it's like Sha'Carri raced somewhere, Tina Clayton raced somewhere, Melissa raced somewhere, Julien raced somewhere, Shericka. This is like, it was weird until Prefontaine Classic, but it was like, yeah, no, that's a good point. The women's is very competitive. Okay, so let's move over. I want to make sure I can get through, and then I want to get to more questions as well. They did add a men's 400-meter hurdles. So men's 400-meter hurdles, this is, all due respect, this is not a high-quality field in the 400 hurdles. You really do have, my bad, just writing this down. You really only have, all due respect, but you have Rai Benjamin here in his single race in the 400 hurdles for 2026. Now, I'll circle back to why it may or may not be his single race. It'll be interesting, but this is his only race in the 400-meter hurdles. He's running it at the Lausanne Diamond League on Thursday. Then he's going to go over to Poland to run the 400 meters with, Kebinat Sipi and all those guys, right? So we'll talk about that. But in this field, it's not like, again, all due respect, but it's not a high-quality field. You do have Mikhail. Maybe I hope it's like I'm correct, but you have Rada, who just won the World U20 gold medal. And then you don't have like the high quality guys. Even some of the quote unquote secondary guys who have run like 47 seconds this year, they're all going to be in Poland, right? That's a Diamond League 400-meter hurdle race. You're going to see all the top guys in Poland. This is really just a quote unquote exhibition race. The thing that I'm thinking about with Rai Benjamin here is that Rai Benjamin is likely, I think he's trying to game out on what he's going to do at the World Ultimate Championships, whether or not he's going to do just the 400 or if he's going to double or something else. Maybe he does the 400 hurdles. I don't think that's the case. I think it's either going to be the 400 hurdles and 400, so the double, or just the 400. And I was thinking about it because the schedule at the World Ultimate Championships is actually not that bad. It's in theory, on day 1, you have the heats of the 400 or the semifinals, whatever, right? Round 1. On day 2, you have at the very start of the session, you have the 400-meter final. Then an hour later, or like an hour and a half or hour something later, you have the 400-meter hurdle first round. And then day 3, you have the 400-meter hurdle final. So in theory, Rai Benjamin actually could double if he feels he's in some good form in the 400 hurdles. Maybe he comes here and he drops 46, high to mid. That might show him, hey, I don't have anything to lose in the 400 hurdles. I'm sorry, in the 400, because I'm just like new in that event. And then the 400 hurdles, like that's my event as well. And if I'm in 46 shape, I can still mix it up with those guys, right? Get at least at minimum a bronze medal, right? Like all due respect, I don't think anyone is running 46 seconds except for Dos Santos and Warholm. So I think that's why Rai might be doing the 400 hurdles here, but I don't know. And he has the wild card to the World Ultimate Champs in the 400 hurdles. So he doesn't need to like compete in a whole bunch of races. the race in Poland is going to be his last qualifying race because that'll be his 5th 400 race for the year, and he'll get his spot at World Ultimate. So I don't know, just a theory, but we'll see what actually does come into fruition after this race and what Rai Benjamin actually does run. Oh yeah, and sorry, Rai isn't listed. Yeah, he's not listed in the 400 for Road to World Ultimates. It's only because he has 4 races. He only has 4 races. So once he runs in Poland, he's gonna have this 5th race and he'll be set. Exactly. So this is a good point. He could run 48 low in the 400 hurdles first round and qualify for the final, 100%. Because when you look at because it's right, it's going to be 3. Oh no, it's going to be 2 semifinals. So because it's 16 athletes, 2 semifinals. So like at the end of the day, it's Rai Benjamin, Alison Dos Santos, Carson Warholm, right? Like those 3 in whatever order, and then it's everyone else. So Rai Benjamin doesn't have to go hard in the semifinals, right? Like he'll qualify into the final. So get the 400 out the way. And if you're in good form, what's there to lose? You can literally jog your, semifinal in the hurdle. So it's something. That's what I think Rai might be doing, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so 2 other events that we do have. Let me see. Okay, no, that's local. Shout out to Leaky Claver and Tori Lewis in the B 200 meter race for the women in Lausanne here. But we do have the men's 200. Yes, men's 200, and then we'll get to the women's in a second. Men's 200 is actually a very, very good field. Here we're going to see, my bad, let me just make sure I can get this. So here we're going to see Let's Toboho. So his first race in, I think, since Prefontaine Classic. You're going to see Maka Charamba. You're going to see Sinisifo Dambile, who just came off the gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. Jose Figueroa, who of course has been running 19.7, I think twice this year. And I mentioned this when I recapped that Pan American situation that happened, the Pan American Championships or whatever. I mentioned that he is slowly getting himself into the world rankings by way of running a fast time and then getting into races, right? Like that's why this is very interesting to me, because he was nowhere near any world rankings this year or the top 16. Now I think, and I'm just going to cross check here, I know in the 100, he's actually number 16. Oh no, that's Ronald Longa. My bad. Maybe in the 200. Let me see if Jose is actually in this. Oh no, he's not. Oh man. So, he is. He's number 11. Perfect. So Jose Figueroa, again, he's in this race. He's been running 19.7. He ran his way this year into the world rankings. He literally ran his way into the world rankings this year. And now he's number 11. Like, listen, y'all, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So shout out to Jose. Brandon Hicklin is in the field. Zarno Hughes, after like all due respect, he got run down in the final. He probably will get the gold medal though, because, dude is about to be banned. But Zarno Hughes, he's going to be in the field. Courtney Lindsay, and then Timothée, who's also been having, he got the bronze medal, tied for bronze at the European champs this year as well. So this is going to be a strong field. I think what I'm looking at in this field is there's essentially like 2 storylines to a degree, right? I'm looking at Letsile versus Dambile. Is Letsile in good enough form once again? I mean, he's always going to be in good form, but like, is he going to be ready to take down Dambile once again, right? He's beaten Dambile already. But I'm looking at, okay, is Letsile in form to do that once again? Because Dambile has been on a tear. Yes, he ran, it was like 19.9 to win gold at Commonwealth Games, but he's run 19.7 twice. He's, only lost to Letsile, Noah, and Kenny B in any given race this year. And he's like hungry, right? Like he's really trying to be out here proving himself. So we'll see. But that's the first thing I'm looking at. And then I'm looking at where everyone else kind of does, map out. And I could be mixing different storylines here. I know Dynamics, you said 3 storylines. I'm kind of mixing things, but it's like Maka Charamba, Jose Figueroa, Brandon Hicklin, Zarno Hughes, Courtney Lindsay, like all these guys, Timothée, like all these guys, I'm just a little unsure. Maka Charamba, Zarno Hughes, Courtney Lindsay, I'd probably put at like the upper part of the pack along with Jose Figueroa. Brandon Hicklin, Timothée, maybe a step behind, but I don't know. It's a little mix. But okay, Toboho's form, Toboho versus Dambile, and the rest. That's actually a very good note. Very good note. In terms of 3 storylines. That makes sense. Taboho blew the chance to use this year to run a sub 44 personal best, especially when he already has 200-meter wild card for the World Ultimates. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he wants to focus in on I don't know. It seems like he wants to focus in on the sprints. He wants to focus in on the 100 and the 200, and he's not as invested in the 400 outside of the 4x4. So I don't know. It seems like a pure, just like personal motivation thing. Maybe long term, maybe 2028. I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I have absolutely no idea. But it's a good. He definitely could have gotten a personal best. Let's see. I'm pretty sure he ran 19.87 at altitude. Yes, that was Jose Figueroa, and his 19.7 was near sea level. I could be wrong. Yes, so the 19.7 was in Dominican Republic at sea level. His 19.8 was at altitude in Brazil, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think I'm correct, right? Pan American, or maybe it was Chile. I forget exactly, but yes, one of them was at altitude, one of them was sea level. So he's turning out to be more legit than might have expected. Let's see, might drop 19.68. I doubt. I mean, actually, let me not say I doubt. That actually very likely could happen. That very likely could happen, right? Let's see, is more than capable. When was the last time we saw Taboho? Prefontaine Classic. That was the last time that Let's see, Taboho ran. And I think that was the last time that most people ran anything, because it was like we just had a bunch of championships after that. So yeah, Let's see, is winning. Let's see. That's why women's 100-meter hurdles is way more respectable than 100 meters right now. They never duck each other since Camacho Quinn days. Yeah, they never. Even before then, like back in the days with like Sally Pearson and Dawn Harper Nelson and Kenny Harrison and like, a whole different era as well. Never duck. We keep giving Courtney Lindsay chances. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I just group all these guys not together, but it's like, I can't count them out, right? Like in theory, he could drop a fast time. So, we don't see. Was Brandon Hicklin the silver medal at USA's in the 200? Yes, he finished behind Garrett Calland in the 200. Let's see, Taboho, he wants Noah and Kenny's head. Athletes like Camacho Quinn and Sydney are using this period to get pregnancy out of the way, pre-Los Angeles 28. Yep. Sinisifo Dambile is too high on confidence right now. Absolutely. Oh, my bad. Colombia is where Jose Figueroa ran. I think that's right. My bad. It might be in Colombia. Apologies. That's a good call out there. Very good call out. Yeah, pre-Phil so long ago after these championships. Yeah, because you had, all right, Prefontaine, and then after that, you had USA championships, you had Commonwealth Games, you had you had European championships, you had the CAC games mixed in there. It was like mad championships, right? So it was crazy, right? And all these other national, it was crazy. Taboho 19.55, maybe. I ain't mad at that. Okay, so Lindsay won't make the Olympic 200-meter team. Will be Noah, Kenny, and Tate. Yeah, I mean, I would bet on that team. That's the team I would bet on, but I also don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know, because like anything can happen. But that is on paper, that should in theory be the 200-meter team for the United States in 2028. I say anything can happen because like any young athlete can pop up at any time, right? Like in 2021, no one would have expected Ariane Nain to run as fast as he did, especially as young as he did, right? So imagine a young athlete next year pops up similar to, and like is as high quality as Tate. And obviously we maybe would see some rumblings because Ariane Nain was kind of like rumbling in 2020. But like by the time you get to 2028, it'll be like, okay, wow, like this athlete might be, running fast. Similar aspect of like Brian Lavelle for Jamaica, right? In 2024, he ran sub 20 once, I think, and then he made the team to Olympic Games, but he was not on the people's radars. Next year, he's running 19.6, right? So that's why I'm like, that should be the team on paper, but anything can happen. When is Nain's ban out? Yeah, it's 2029. So Ariane Nain, he unfortunately won't be at the Olympics in 2028. He's going to miss that. So yeah. Tate should go pro. Someone confirm. I think, I don't know. Is Tate Taylor like definitely going to Texas Tech? Obviously he's committed there and all that stuff, but like, has there been any change since U20s? I haven't seen anything. And I saw 2 interviews he did, but I need to check it out. But like, I don't know. We'll see. Olympic year is always different. Like people pop up all the time. But Tate is probably going pro next year and getting signed. Yeah, it'd be interesting if he stays 1 year at NCAAs. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, he's still going. All right. So it'll be interesting. It's kind of crazy, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let me move over and we're gonna finish off Lausanne and then talk about the women's 200. And this, of course, is going to be the oh, he moved in on his IG story. Okay, so what you call it? Women's 200 meters at the Lausanne Diamond League. So this is going to be the first race for Shericka Jackson in the 200 since the last Chinese Diamond League. So the Lausanne Men Diamond League, that was the last time she ran 21.87 there. And that was the last time she ran the 200. Now we're going to see her back in the 200 for the first time, especially as she now leads into the World Ultimate Championships. She's going to be going up against a very high-quality field. Anavia Battle, shout out to Anavia. Shout out to Brittany Brown, who ran the 100 at the USA Championships. Brittany Brown, I think she said in an interview at USA's, but she now moved to Los Angeles, so she's no longer with Boogie Johnson in Arkansas with that whole Hurdle Mechanic crew. She's now in Los Angeles training under John Smith. And shout out to John Smith. I spoke to him at the USA's. And like, shout out to John Smith. He's a guy. He got like a little award like from USATF, but he's in it, and he's sharp. He's sharp. Like, obviously he's getting up there in age relatively, but it's like he's still sharp. So shout out to Brittany Brown. She's out there. Amy Hunt, Hoenke from Switzerland. Amy Hunt, of course, coming off the 4 gold medals at the European Champs. Favor O'Feely, this is going to be the first time we see her in a little bit as well, because of course she didn't go to Commonwealth. You have Kayla White, who's in the field as well, who of course coming off a very strong personal best at the in the 200, right, in London. Was it Monaco, London? Yes, in London. Pretty sure it was London if I'm correct. So London Diamond League. So this is actually a relatively stacked field, and I think I have general questions around, will Shericka Jackson, obviously she is the top name in the field, but will she be able to actually dominate this field and beat out these women in a similar fashion as she did earlier this year, where she beat out, the fields in China in both of those races, considering she hasn't run any race since Prefontaine Classic, right? I think that was the last race. I'm pretty sure that was the last race that she ran in 2026, just like a lot of other women. So, and of course so we'll see how she does fare, especially in the 200. Obviously, she's in form. She's run 21.8. She's run 10.8, right, in the 100. So she's in form. But what does this look like with Amy Hunt coming off European Championships, right? She probably is maybe not in the best form, but, in terms of like immediate, comeback. But, we'll see. Kayla White, she had a very good USA Championships, like very good. And she only did the 100 and she ran 10 seconds a couple times. So she's going to be someone who could challenge, right? Like, who knows? Favor O'Feely, she obviously hasn't had the overall greatest of seasons when it comes to like the performances relative to like previous years, but she's been pretty consistent, right? Like she's been in the mix. So same thing, Anavia Battle obviously hasn't run as fast this year yet. I think the 22.2 was from the London Diamond League, or maybe it's from another race. But she can really step things up, and she's already qualified for the World Ultimate Champs, right? I think most Anavia Battle, Amy Hunt, Shericka Jackson, Kayla White. I don't think Brittany Brown is in it, because even though she made the final last year at the World Champs, I'm not sure if it's stuck for her. No, Brittany Brown. Oh no, yeah, because she hasn't. She doesn't have 5 races. So you got a couple of these women already qualified. Even Favor O'Feely is in the mix. I don't know if Favor O'Feely is going to go to the World Ultimate Championships, though. I don't know what it looks like, because athletes are going to wear their national kit, even though they don't have to qualify through their national federation. But I know that USATF is sending American athletes their kits. So I don't know if that's how I have absolutely no idea. But Favor O'Feely can compete at Ultimate Championships. I just don't know what connection the federation has to do with it here. So something to think about. But, we'll see. But this women's 200, I think it'll be the key thing is I'm very interested to see what form Shericka Jackson is in here, because then that's going to connect to what we look at at the Silesia Diamond League later on. And then is anyone else also in that kind of conversation with Shericka here? I'm looking at Kayla White as she has been, having the most momentum relative to some of these other women. Amy Hunt, obviously coming off the 4 golds, but like she just came off those 4 gold medals. I'm actually kind of surprised she's running here myself. And she also isn't as fast as Kayla White, right? Like Kayla White has run faster than Amy Hunt a couple times. So it's like, that's an interesting dynamic. But we'll see what actually does pan out. But shout out to this women's 200. And I know a few of y'all were saying that Shericka is going to win. Amy's a non-factor. Let me just scroll up. And then after this, I'm going to move over to the Silesia, to the Poland Diamond League, and we'll talk about there. High quality, no. Kayla has broken 22 seconds. Yep. If Shericka drops to 21.7 or 21.6 in Lausanne, the women's 200 at Ultimate is going to be a bloodbath. I already think it's going to be a bloodbath, but it's also interesting because Julien Alfred isn't there. I don't know, but maybe may or may not be there, but we'll see. All Amy needs is an Olympic medal, and she'll be bigger than Sha'Carri. How does that even make sense? Maybe you need to explain yourself. Maybe you need to explain yourself, because I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But I could be misinterpreting. Cross-check me. But Kayla White, Shericka Jackson, Amy Hunt. Okay. Want to see something from Favor Ophilie? I want to see, because Favor Ophilie is so talented, yo. She's so talented. And it sucks. I mean, she's sticking with the opportunity to transfer, because I saw she just went to Turkey again. But we'll see. I just don't know if World Athletics and CAS and all that is going to happen. Shericka will win with ease. Okay. I have a feeling Shericka will drop a fast time. 21.8 early season is special. Yeah. I guess I'm just curious because of her last race wasn't great, right? And obviously with the context of coming off of Jamaican champs, coming off of the loss of, Stephen Francis. But I don't know. We'll see. And I'm pretty sure that was her last race, Prefontaine Classic. Someone could cross-check me on that. But yeah, we'll see what's up with Shericka. Let's see. You said Amy Hunt a non-factor. Maybe. I do think I'm not, factoring too much into. I'm not reading too much into Amy Hunt here because she just came off the races at European champs. I could see 21.9 from Shericka. Who knows? I think 21.7 is possible. Oh, I'm sorry. I could see 21.9 from Shericka. Who knows? I think 21.7 is possible, but a gamble. And who knows if she's injured or going to ease herself back into form ready for September. I don't think Shericka is injured because she wouldn't be running here and in Poland. So that's my assessment. But I think she's good. Yeah, too few races for Brittany to be a major factor. That's a good point. Yeah, she's coming back. She's had a lot of injuries and setbacks, whole bunch of things. Jackson will win. Shericka has a 21.87 season's best. Yep. Let's see. Ophilie can compete at Ultimates. Yes. And so good point. She can compete. I guess I'm not sure, because World Athletics is like, you wear your national kit. And I don't know if she's going to wear, she probably has like a previous Nigerian kit, but I just don't know if she's going to wear it there, or if like World Athletics has any rules around athletes wearing national kits there. So that's the only thing that I'm not unsure about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know for a fact she can compete, because like the national federations don't have any bearing on if they actually do send. I even saw like what USATF actually sent to American athletes as it relates to selection. Like they have no aspect of that, but they were asking athletes, yo, if World Athletics reached out to you saying that you qualified, let us know so we could send you a kit. That's how USATF was doing things. So I don't know how it works for like other countries, but yeah, good point. Okay. All right. So I'm going to jump down. I apologize if I'm missing some of the comments. Do you think Sha'Carri is done, or is she qualified? Sha'Carri is already qualified for World Ultimate Champs. I think she's going to be at the Diamond League final. She's not running the 200 here, but I think she's going to be at the Diamond League final, maybe even in Zurich. But Sha'Carri Milawibo is already qualified for World Ultimate Champs. She's number 6. She's set. She's good. And she said that's been her focus this year, where she wants to run at World Ultimate Champs. So, and she wants to run the 200. So she's good. She's set. Kayla's not beating Shericka to 60. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it could be a good race. Could be. Let's see. I know there's different conversations. I wonder if Gabby at the Diamond League final or Ultimate will be the next race, followed by Athlos, London, and then NYC. It's a good question. I don't know if Gabby is going to either the Diamond League final or if it's just straight to Ultimates. Honestly, no idea. But it will be interesting if she just goes straight to ultimates, because her last race was the London Diamond League, so that'd be a long. I mean, but who knows? Who knows? I hopefully she's at the Diamond League final. Shericka is healthy, but MVP athletes are in mourning. Yep. Shout out to and rest in peace to Stephen Francis. Just had the funeral. All right. I wouldn't count out Amy Hunt. She's peaking, and Shericka hasn't been great recently. Well, yeah, but I think Amy Hunt is going to take a slight dip down before preparing for World Ultimates again. I just don't know. Like, essentially, I just can't read into what Amy Hunt may or may not do here because she's coming off a championship. So, I don't know. Yeah, Kayla's a good runner here. So, yeah. Okay. So, shout out to the Lausanne Diamond League. Let's move over and talk about the Silesia Diamond League in Poland. This is going to be, actually, let me just pull this up here. This is going to be going down on Sunday. This one is going to be going down on Sunday. So Sunday, August 23rd. Shout out to the long jump and the high jump. We'll talk about the long jump in a second. But shout out to the different events at the Poland Diamond League. But Silesia, it's going down. Hold on, let me make sure I can get this. Okay. Just want to make sure I can get this up. Okay, so Poland Diamond League going down this Saturday. Shout out to the women's long jump. We're going to see a stacked field here. We just saw a crazy competition at the European Championships where we saw like separated by 6 centimeters, everyone, right? 694, 695, 696, 698, 699, 7 meters, like something like that. I forget what it was. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But in this field, we have like almost everybody except for Tara Davis-Woodhall. And okay, Larissa Yapakino is actually not in the field, but Jasmine Sawyers just got the silver medal at European champs. You have Monet Nichols, who has been very consistent. Malaki Mihambo just missed the podium, getting 5th place, right, at the European champs. You have Hillary Kapacha, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That one I definitely apologize, but I think it's on there. But Hillary just came off European champs, right? Alyssa Jones is qualified for World Ultimate Champs. European champs, sorry. Alyssa Jones is qualified for World Ultimate Champs. Agata de Sousa, she just got what'd she get? She got 4th place, right? At the European champs, or was it was it 3rd place? I forget. But Claire Bryant, former world indoor champion. And then you have Maja from Sweden. So stacked women's long jump field. Very exciting to see how this actually does play out. Again, you're missing Tara Davis-Woodhall. You're missing Larissa Yapakino. But this is a stacked field. Super, super stacked field. So shout out to the women's long jump. That's going to be on Saturday. After that, we get into Sunday, where we have a few core events that are going down. Women's triple jump. Always shout out to the triple jump. Right back at it. You know, the European triple jump was actually very high quality, but now we add in all the other women from the rest of the world. You add in Thea Lafond, who's already jumped 15.25 this year. You add in Velasco, who's jumped 15.13 this year, right? You add in Akeelia Smith. You add in Sally Sarr, who's on the cusp of 15 meters. Lianis Perez Hernandez, who's jumped 15 meters. You know, we have 3 women at 15 meters already this year, right? You have Povea, right? You have Ivana Spanovic, right? So like stacked field. Shout out to Daria, who just got the gold. No, right? Am I right? Gold medal at the European Championships. My bad. My brain is not working properly. But stacked women's triple jump field. Good question. Where is Yulimar Rojas? No idea. She jumped well indoors and then disappeared. She actually, now that I'm cross-checking, she doesn't have a spot at World Ultimate. Oh, yeah, she doesn't have a spot because she doesn't have enough jumps. So Rojas is not going to World Ultimate Championships. So yeah, what I suspect actually is that Yulimar Rojas might have been like, let me see where I'm at in terms of just like jumping, which is why she did the 2 competitions indoors, right? The 1 competition early on, and then she did the World Championships. Let me see where I'm at in terms of my health, in terms of jumping, and then let me shut down and then focus in on the next Olympic cycle, right? Because essentially in this whole group, Yulimar Rojas is the veteran of the triple jump. she is literally the veteran because she's been here since what? She got the silver medal in 2016 at the Olympic Games, right? And then she just went on a winning streak. So maybe that's why she's skipping out on the season, on the outdoor season, because she wants to really preserve her body. That's my thought process, but I honestly have no actual answers. Okay. So, but yeah, so shout out to the women's triple jump. Yes, it's looking very, very hot. Very hot. That's a women's triple jump. Oh, did I note that? Let me see. 10401. Okay. After that, women's 300. So I know someone said we're looking forward to the 300. This is a non-Diamond League event, but we do have a few women who are in this field that are going to make it, kind of interesting for the most part, I would say. Here we do have Martina Veal, who's, always been kind of like floating under the radar. She's someone, well, this is the 300. She's someone I feel like should have been maybe into that 49-second range, like farther in already, but, we'll see. You do have Manuel, and this is where I need to apologize because this is like where I've been pronouncing it incorrectly. Lourdes Manuel, right? I don't know why I was saying Ludares. I don't know where I was getting it, but Lourdes Manuel, she's in here coming off, unfortunately a poor performance at European Championships, but she's now in the mix in this 300. I would say she's the favorite. Though Ella Ono, she's of course been having a pretty good year, got the bronze medal in the 400 at the Commonwealth Games. So, she's in the mix here. She's already won 49 seconds in the 400. Alexis Holmes, you have Charlotte Henrich, who got a spot in the European Championship final because Amber Anning pulled out of the 400 final. You have Gaka from Poland, and then you have Success Edouin, of course, 100, 200 sprinter for Great Britain. So interesting mix for the women's 300 here. I think Lourdes, I think Manuel should be the favorite here, though Ella, I think these two are the ones to look out for when we're looking at this 300 here. So we'll see. And yeah, so this is kind of it. Success Edouin's top speed is crazy. I just don't know about a longer distance. That's why, yeah, I can't put her into this conversation because at least like in a way that I would think she should be competitive, because when you start to look at a 300, these 400 meter athletes are probably going to do a lot better because they'll be able to sustain that speed endurance for much longer than Success can, even if Success does have some great top end speed, right? So that's where I'm like I just can't pick Success over Ella or Emmanuel, right? Like it's a tougher thing. So I don't know. But yeah, shout out to the women's 300 here. We also have the women's 100 meter hurdles, which is going to be another high quality field, very similar to the hold up, let me get this down. Very similar to the one in Lausanne, but we're missing a few core names, obviously, right? We don't have Masai Russell, we don't have Toby Amisan, but we do have Aaliyah Armstrong, so doubling back from Lausanne. Kenny Harrison going to be in the field here. Alicia Johnson doubling back from Lausanne. Renai Jones also was in Lausanne. Pia Skarzowska. Then you add in a few others, right? Danielle Williams, Megan Simmons, Akira Nugent, and you have Bapte from France, Letitia. So yeah, this is like all you can ask for. This is a non-Diamond League event, so I understand why like Masai Russell probably isn't running it here, but like this is also a very fast track, right? This is a very, very fast track, like very fast track. We saw Masai run the 12:17, right? No, 12:19. She ran here last year. She ran 12:17 at Grand Slam. So like she's going to be dangerous. She's going to be very dangerous. I mean, I'm sorry. These athletes are going to be dangerous. Masai is not running here. Look for some fast times. I would not be surprised if we see some fast times, but I just like the competition. So we'll see how that actually does pan out. Will Rojas ever get back to the top, or is she in her Warholm post-injury era? I don't know what you're talking about. We'll talk about Carson Warholm in a second. Carson Warholm is still running just as good as he's ever been. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But Rojas, as I explained before, I think she's taking the outdoor season off to then just focus in on the next Olympic cycle because she's a veteran of the group. Anyone doubling back just 2 days later will flop? Maybe. The hurdles I'm not too worried about. Maybe in some other events, but we'll see. All right. After that, we do have the men's 110 hurdles also doubling back once again here. These guys, it's going to be a very, very similar field with a few extra names in the mix. So here we have Orlando Bennett. He's going to be, doubling back. You have Jamal Britt. He's going to be right back in the mix. You have Trey Cunningham, who's now jumping back after a long stretch off, right? He didn't even run at USA's. Jasquale Matthey, he got a medal at European Championships, right? Menendez, doubling back from Lausanne. Moritake, he's going to be in Lausanne. You have Jakub Szymanski. He didn't get a medal at European Champs, right? If I'm remembering correctly. He also isn't as strong outdoors as he is indoors. So a little mixed. Jacoby Tharp, Cordell Tinch. So stacked men's 110-meter hurdles. Very excited to see how this. I mean, this is another aspect of the hurdles where the men and the women, they are racing frequently. Like, we've been seeing these guys run against each other all throughout the year. So I love the competition. This is a very, very good field. Very, very good field. 100% agree. 100% agree. We're going to get to the 400 hurdles in a second. Actually, that's the next one I have listed. Men's 400-meter hurdles. Listen, man, this is so this field is the field that's high quality, right? This is like, okay, this is the legit field. Trevor Bassett, Caleb Dean, Alison Dos Santos. You have Oscar from Sweden. You have Lima from Brazil, who's been on fire. You have Ezekiel Nathaniel. You have Nazir, right? You have Abdurrahman Samba. You have Karsten Warholm. This is like the high quality field. That's why, shout out to Rai Benjamin. We'll talk about him in a second, but the 400 hurdles in Lausanne that's for Rai Benjamin to open up. This is like, okay, these are all the guys who are trying to contend for, World Ultimate Championships. All these guys, except for one, has run sub 48 seconds this year. Even though he's run his personal best. So this is a stacked field. And let me put things in context. Karsten Warholm in 2000, so he just ran 46.63 seconds to win the European Championship gold medal. Earlier in the year, he ran 46.61. And then earlier in the year, he ran 46.8. 2026 for Karsten Warholm, I can make an argument it's his second best year of his entire career. I can make that argument. 2023 was a crazy year for Karsten Warholm. He ran 46.5, I think, on 3 different occasions with a bunch of other 46 races, maybe 1 or 2 other 46 races, and like 47 lows. Now, you may say 2021, that was the year he broke the world record, right? He ran 45.9. And he also broke the world record before that, running 46.7, right? But if I'm remembering correctly, those were the only 2 times that he actually went under the 47-second barrier. Outside of that, he ran 47 seconds a couple times, but he wasn't as consistent running 46s. Now, yes, 45 seconds, that's like a massive, massive gap, right? That's like otherworldly. But I think we're downplaying how high quality Karsten Warholm has been, especially in this year. Because he was losing to Alison Dos Santos, who I'll get to in a second. He was losing to Alison Dos Santos earlier in the year. And then I think coming off whatever he got, like 5th place or 6th place at the World Championships last year because he got a cramp or something like that. Like, all of that aside, Karsten Warholm is still operating as the big 3. Warholm, Rai Benjamin, Alison Dos Santos, those 3 interchangeably in any order. It just so happens that Alison Dos Santos is stepping up. And Alison Dos Santos, I think, is on pace for something very big. You can go back to my early, recaps of the Chinese Diamond Leagues. I kind of mentioned, or maybe even before that, but like I kind of mentioned, I would not be surprised if Alison Dos Santos not only wins the Ultimate Championships, but gets under the 46-second barrier in 2026. I would not be surprised if that happens. He has already run 46.4, and that is his second fastest time ever, only behind the 46.2 that he ran to win the gold medal at the 2022 World Champs. He's also run, 46, was it 46.5, 46.8? Like, he's run 46 a couple times, and I feel like he is much more consistent and consistently faster throughout this year. Alison Dos Santos is younger than Warholm and Rai Benjamin. So obviously he's been crushing it with those guys for years now, but I think our perception has kind of been skewed on the opportunity for progress that Dos Santos has because he is still so young. And in previous years, because Warholm and Rai Benjamin were like the top guys, right? Olympic golds, that they both got, world golds that they both like. Obviously, Dos Santos got the gold in 2022, but like, do not sleep on Dos Santos. I don't know if it's a guarantee of like, I can't, obviously I can't predict. Definitely he's going to run under 46 seconds. Definitely he's going to break. Like, I can't predict that, but he is trending in that direction. And again, he's already run 46.2 in his career, and he is ahead of pace, having run his second fastest time ever. And the championships didn't even come. Listen, and Dos Santos, he knows how to peak for championships, right? I think 2023 was the only time he didn't win a medal at the World Championships or the Olympics in this past cycles, in this past kind of like run, because he was injured. So don't sleep on Dos Santos, man. Don't sleep on him. But we'll see. We'll see. But this is the field. Shout out to Trevor Bassett, Caleb Dean, and all these guys. Like, this is a stacked field. Ezekiel Nathaniel, Samba. Don't sleep on Samba as well. Like, he's good too. So that's the men's 400-meter hurdles. I didn't even, my bad. I need to note this down. Let me pull this up. But after that, let's talk about we got two 400s. We got the women's 400 and we got the men's 400. So women's 400 meters, everyone is back. Everyone is back. This is the field. And this is on Sunday. So all these athletes from the Europeans, they had the time to rest. They had the time to recover. They are all back and they're going to be ready. So this is basically the best field that you're going to get for the year outside of Dejanay Oakley, who already ended her season, right? So you have Marley DiPaolino, by far the favorite in this field. Like, and it's honestly not even close, right? She's run 48 seconds. I don't even know how many times she's run it this year. I think 5 times. Her most recent one was in a torrential downpour in in the Dominican Republic to win the CAC games. Like, she ran 48.9 or 48.8, something like that, in torrential downpour. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. So you have Paulino here. Then you have a whole bunch of other women. I'll get to Nasser in a second. But then you have Aaliyah Butler, who ran 48.8 just behind Paulino at one of the earlier Diamond Leagues. So she's in some good form. She won USA's very comfortably, no problems there. Roxana Gomez, she ran 49.9 actually behind Paulino at the CAC games in the pouring rain. She actually did very well here. And people forget about her. She made the Olympic Games in 2020. 2021. She was at the Olympic final there. And then you have the Jamaicans. So Stacey Ann Williams, who has been on a tear this year, personal best multiple times, very consistent in the 49 mid-range. You have Nikisha Price, who's also been, not as consistent, but, she's been showcasing more for talent. So she's going to be in the mix. And then we get to the European Championship podium. You have Henrietta Jaeger, if I'm pronouncing correctly, but you have Jaeger here, 49.04 seconds to get the gold medal at the European Championships. Big performance for her. Then you had Natalia Bukowiecka, who got the silver medal, even though it wasn't a great time, but she did run 49.5 in the semifinals at Europeans. And then you had Leaky Klaver. Good performance for her to get the bronze medal. Again, not a great time, but, she's run the 49.5 personal best earlier this year. So when I say this field is stacked, like, this is a stacked women's 400 field. This is pretty much the best field that we're going to get this year outside of what we'll see at the World Ultimate Championships, right? And maybe even then we may not see the best, quote unquote field because some women may not qualify or whatever it may be in terms of like, getting out of the semifinals. I think all these women are qualified for the World Ultimate Champs. I'm pretty sure all these women, and I'm just going to cross-check for the women's 400, and I'm going to talk about Saweed Nasser in a second as well. So yes, you have Marley DiPaolino, you have Henriette Jaeger, you have Natalia Bukowiecka, you have Manuel, who's running the 300. You have Nikisha Price, you have Aaliyah Butler, Roxana Gomez, Amber Anning. Who knows if she's going to, I don't know her status because she's been pulling out of different races due to injury, pulled out of the final at Europeans. Stacey Ann Williams, Saweed Nasser. So Leaky Klaver, 11, my bad. You have Mary John, Hamida, you have Ella, you have Charlene Maudsley, you have Martina Veal. Okay, so all these women are qualified. So actually this entire field is all qualified. Now, this is where we get into the Saweed Nasser kind of conversation. I'm going to circle back to some comments in a second. Saweed Nasser is running her first race since I forget what diamond league she ran at. I think she ran at one of the Chinese diamond leagues. Whatever, yeah, she ran at the second Chinese diamond league, the 400 meters there that had Aaliyah Butler and Nikisha Price. I think they went. I think they got the wins there. At the second Chinese Diamond League, Nikisha, then Aaliyah, something like that. But Sawi Nasser ran in that race, I think. And then since then, she has not run a single race. The assumption is that she was injured. Like, that's my assumption. Earlier in the year, she did run. So prior to this, she ran 51.56 in China. But I think a week or two before then, she actually had run 50.92 seconds out in Florida. And I'll just put this on the screen because her time didn't come up because I'm assuming this race just wasn't sanctioned or something like that. But she did run 50.92 seconds down in Florida earlier in the year. So I guess the question is, so she is qualified for the World Ultimate Championships, but I don't know how good Sawi Nasser is going to be here. I don't expect anything from her. I don't expect her to run 48. I don't expect her to run 49. I don't even know if I expect her to run 50 seconds. But we'll see how she actually does do in this race here. But, shout out to the women's 400 meters and all these women. But you said Paulino winning, Jaeger and Butler could battle for second place. Not mad at that. Leaky Clover is too inconsistent. She's out. Yeah, her consistency isn't great. That's the challenge. Paulino is seeing red, about to be belted as everyone is getting punished since Sydney isn't around. Yeah. Ugh. Paulino is going crazy. When I tell you that race in Dominican Republic in torrential downpour, 48 like, come on, man. It's crazy. Would have Amber Anning and Manuel in there over Roxana and an out of shape Nasser. Well, I wouldn't have, I don't know if I'd have Amber Anning in here because like she's been pulling out of races. Sure, she got second place at British Champs. She didn't run Commonwealth Games. She pulled out of the final at European Champs. Like, I honestly don't even know if Amber Anning is going to continue on her season. Like, I genuinely am unsure. So I think Roxana has earned her spot, in this Diamond League here. The thing is, Manuel, she went to the 300, right? So it's not even like, I'm pretty sure Manuel was offered a spot in this 400. I think she was like, let me get some speed work in here, right? Maybe that's what it was. So, you said Sydney. I mean, Paulino wants Sydney, not the lane fillers. Paulino's on a different level. Paulino, Jaeger, Butler, not mad at that. Aaliyah Butler for silver. Hey, let's see. Nasser going from 51 to 49, which would be wild. Which would be absolutely wild. What happened to Amber Anning at the Euro semis? And so I guess this is the question though, right? So Amber Anning ran 49.96 season's best in Euro semis, but then she pulled out of the final. That's why I'm just like I don't know. Like, obviously she has it. Like, you cannot deny Amber Anning's talent, but like in terms of her showing up to race, and especially in like, I just don't know, right? Like, clearly there's some level of injury or setback that she's dealing with, that she's consistently been dealing with throughout the year. She pulled out of World Indoor Champs after running a very fast time early on indoors. She pulled out of various different races throughout the season. It's just like, excuse me, it's just questionable. I just don't know what injury she's been dealing with. So that's my thing. Yeah, she felt a slight twinge in her hamstring. She took precautions by not running in the final. Okay, that's fair. Which is fair. I guess I'm just like, because of the up and down and the trends throughout the year, that's what's just giving me question. So all of this is to say, like, I think Roxana Gomez deserves her spot here. Like, in my opinion, she's been running consistently enough where it's like, yo, like she deserves her spot here. And maybe that goes to the point of why Amber Anning might not be in this field, because maybe she was like, I'm qualified for World Ultimate Championships. I don't want to come to this field and then get injured even more, right? Like, that may be her strategy. So I don't know. Glover is inconsistent, but I got some confidence back at Euros. She ran her semis and finals the right way. She has to stay with the strategy. Yeah. The only question for Claver, though, is she has to stay with that strategy. Yeah. So the only question for Claver, though, is like, what happens at World Ultimate Champs, right? Like, in a race like this, so like, she got third place at European Champs behind Natalia, and then, of course, Henriette with the gold. Then you add in everyone else. You add in Aaliyah Butler. You add in Stacey Williams, who's been very consistent in time, essentially consistently running Leaky Clover's personal best. That's what Stacey Williams has been doing, right? Add in Nikisha Price, and then forget about Paulino, right? That's a whole different conversation. So that's where it's like, I want to see Leaky Clover break through at some point. She got fourth place in 2022, but I don't know. But yeah, Nasser is an unknown for real. Yeah, Roxanne, she ran 49 seconds in the rain, the pouring rain. So yeah, that 49 was really like 49.5, if anything. But yeah. Okay, so after that, moving over men's 400 meters, and then we'll get into the 100-meter races. Men's 400 meters, I'm going to kind of roll through because I want to make sure I can be good on time here. But men's 400 meters, this is going to be another edition of a very, very high quality 400-meter field. And yeah, this is stacked. So we got Chris Bailey, Rai Benjamin. So coming off Lausanne, it'll be interesting. Kalin Buseng Kabinashipi, he's going to be in the field. You have Molnar, who unfortunately didn't get a medal at the European champs. Bapun Dori, who's been dealing with some injuries, I think. He pulled out a Prefontaine. So I think he was supposed to run somewhere else, but didn't. Zakiti Nene, he got the P medal at the Commonwealth Games. Ja'Cory Patterson is back in. Dream Richards, and then of course a couple other guys in the field as well. So stacked field, various different storylines. But Buseng is the guy here, right? I don't know. Anyone is. I can't imagine anyone touching him, assuming all things go to chalk, right? Buseng is the guy. I'm not out here. I'm not even going to predict any time or anything like that. I'm just thinking about long term as they're looking towards World Ultimate Champs. Buseng is probably just going to keep racking up wins. Now, if he's caught slipping, if we see a race like Prefontaine Classic where it's closer, then he could be caught slipping. But I don't think anyone could bet on anyone else except for Buseng as it relates to this race. But we'll see. Then you do have Rai Benjamin. So Rai Benjamin will be an interesting case because he's coming off the Lausanne Diamond League 400-meter hurdles. That's on Thursday, so Sunday. So 3 days afterwards, 2 to 3 days afterwards. How will he fare after 4 hurdles and then going into a high-quality 400-meter field where we saw when he went to Monaco, Prefontaine Classic, right? He got very close to Buseng, to Colin. But then at the Monaco Diamond League, right? I'm pretty sure it was Monaco. Rai Benjamin wasn't as good against the field. Am I thinking about that right? Monaco, Buseng won. London Diamond League, I forget which one. Someone needs to let me actually do this. Let me actually do this properly because I want to make sure I can just cross-check what I'm thinking about. Because I remember he did all right. He did very good in Prefontaine Classic, but then in London is the one that. Oh, so that was Tokyo. Oh, yes. Okay. London Diamond League, he actually won that race in 45.0. But then when we got to the Monaco Diamond League, that's where he finished 3rd place. Yes, that's the one he didn't do as well. This is Rai Benjamin. So he finished 3rd place just after Prefontaine Classic. So that's where essentially, okay, maybe a mixed bag as it relates to trying to beat out, someone like Colleen here, but it'll be tough. Then you add in Chris Bailey, who won USA's. Obviously, Justin Robinson got DQ'd for stepping on the line, but Chris Bailey has been in some great form, amazing form, just set a personal best earlier this year. You have Zakiti Nene. He's obviously run 43 seconds this year. So he's going to be he's in good form, and he just medaled at the Commonwealth Games. Ja'Cory Patterson, he's already run sub 44 seconds this year. So he's in the mix. Dream Richards, right? Obviously, my bad. Dream, he did just, let me just pull up. Because at the Commonwealth Games, he did get what did he get? At the Commonwealth Games. Yeah, so he got the silver medal at the Commonwealth Games. So it was Ogazi, it was Richards, and then Nene. I was just cross-checking. I forgot if Zakiti got the bronze and Richards got the silver. So Dream is in there. So this is a high-quality field. But can anyone take down Colleen? And then how does the rest of the field pan out? I think that's the 2 storylines. Colleen in a world of his own. Can anyone take him down? And then how does everyone else kind of stack up against each other? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? Don't think Colleen will run super fast due to the break, but we'll see. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm not even going to predict the times here. I'm just interested in the dynamics of how everyone kind of races and things like that. there isn't a men's 4x4 at World Ultimate Championships, but how do you see USA versus Botswana looking like for the next year? I think it's always going to be close, right? Like Botswana is obviously like riding high, and I think Botswana stands as like the favorites for whatever it is the next couple of years. But the thing is, USA is a conveyor belt of high quality athletes who can run 43 seconds on any given day on any given split. So it's still going to be very competitive, because even think about the World Championships last year. Obviously, Botswana won, but it wasn't a blowout, right? It wasn't like they completely bodied the United States. Same thing in 2024. USA won, but they didn't blow out Botswana, right? They didn't body bag them. I think that's what we're going to see. I think that's what we're going to see in perpetuity, right? Like they're always going to be super, super close to each other, especially as Botswana continues to build up more and more talent. That's what I think we're going to likely see. So we'll see. But good question. All right, so let's move over to other events to speak about, to highlight here. I'll quickly talk about the women, and then I'll go over to the men, because I already did a full video on the women's 100, but I'll quickly talk about this here. Women's 100 meters at the Silesia Diamond League. So this is, I'm just noting this down. This is interesting because this is the first time that we are seeing every single top athlete lined up against each other in 2026. Every, single top, notable athlete for the most part, except for Elaine Thompson-Herah. And then obviously there's a few others, but like in general, right, the core women we're looking forward to seeing. Julien Alfred, Olympic champion. Tia Clayton, who's run 10.8 as her personal best. Tina Clayton, silver medalist from last year. Zoe Hobbs, Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Shericka Jackson, right, former two-time world silver medalist. Melissa Jefferson Wooden, reigning world champion. Brianna Liston, she's run sub-11 this year already. She's of course been getting her footing back, in her first year pro. Sha'Carri Richardson, former world champion, and then Iwa Sobota from Poland. This is as stacked as you're going to get in any women's 100-meter race that we have seen since the World Championship final last year. This is the most stacked race. Prefontaine Classic was close, but we didn't get Julien Alfred in that field, right? So this is it. This is the field. Now, before just highlighting some of these athletes, Elaine Thompson-Herah was supposed to be in this field, right? Elaine Thompson-Herah was supposed to be in this field, but she unfortunately pulled out for reasons unknown to myself and unknown to most people, I assume, as well, right? Like, I think we literally have no idea why Elaine pulled out, but just for context, just to put it up. So Elaine was supposed to be in this field, right? It was a big matchup. Julien, Elaine, Shericka, Melissa, and Sha'Carri. But once we saw the start or the entries, Elaine was nowhere to be found. So I don't know, but it is what it is. Shout out to Elaine. Hopefully she's healthy, but I think this kind of confirms that she likely won't be at the World Ultimate Championships unless there's some extenuating circumstances. I don't know, but we'll see. And clearly, it's like she wanted to be there, right? Like she was announced, she was entered, and then when the official start list or entries came out, she was no longer on the list. So we don't get to see her. Oh, yes. And I guess that is like, and I'm going to come back to some comments, but I think that is like what most people said, right? Like someone was going to scratch, we waiting for, until they're all on the line, but hey, I don't know. But yeah, in this women's 100-meter field, I am curious, like what y'all think. Who do you think is going to take the win? Who do y'all think is going to get it? I know you're saying at least one of them will scratch. I actually think all of them are going to show up. I think all of them will show up. The only question that I might have is like, if Shericka doesn't, if like something happens in Lausanne with Shericka that causes her to be like, nah, let me take this time off. But I don't think she's going to scratch. Yeah, so I don't know. But yes, the lineup is crazy. I think we'll see more on Shericka's performance based on how she does it at Lausanne. 100%. Lausanne in the 200, that's going to be more indicative of what Shericka probably can do. Shout out to you, Ramont. Appreciate you. But, we'll see how she does perform here. No one is beating Melissa. In general, I personally have Melissa as a favorite for sure. This lineup is actually better than Worlds last year. Yeah, absolutely. Because Tia Clayton was not in the field, right? Brianna Liston was not in the field, right? Sha'Carri Richardson was not running 10.7, right? Like Julien Alfred was not healthy. So all these kind of aspects do play into why this field is actually a little bit better. So that's a good point. Good point. I don't know if I could predict the winner because Richardson wants revenge against Melissa Jefferson. That's a good point. She wants revenge. She wants revenge. I still have Melissa Jefferson winning. Undefeated for 2 years is no joke. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Melissa is the favorite here, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Let me see. Melissa, Sha'Carri, Julien in that order. Aaron, you said Julien so pissed that some of the generational all-time great talent gets injured so much. You said that she should retire in grace. There'll be 2 Americans on the podium. I just don't know the order. It's either going to be 10-7 low or 10-6 high for the win. Melissa, Julien, Sha'Carri. I'm not going to predict time because it's like, I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I don't know what the wind is going to be like. But I'll stick with the order. The time is so, it's so dependent on the weather, right? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Top 2 is Melissa, Sha'Carri in no particular order. I don't know. Y'all sleeping on Julien Alfred, right? Julien Alfred could win this, so too. I don't think Sobota or the Clayton twins will hold off the favorites, Julien, Melissa, etc. Yeah, Melissa Jefferson wouldn't. Julien will win. All you keep us underestimating Julien. Yeah, Julien could win this. You know what I'm saying? Julien can definitely win this. You said Julien ain't beating Sha'Carri. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anything can happen. Julien is dangerous. Let me see. You said sucks to see Tia back in the same position. The only way Tia gets to Ultimate Champs is if she wins Diamond League Final. It looks like, I think. Oh, interesting. So I didn't realize that. Let me close this out. I didn't realize that Tia Clay. Oh, because she didn't run at the World Championships. That actually is the problem. And she got injured a little bit this year, so she doesn't have a spot. So Tia Clayton, she's not even in the ranking. So let me just pull up Tia Clayton. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Tia Clayton this year in the 100, she's only run, let me do it by event. She's only run 2 races. That's actually crazy because she didn't run at Jamaican National Champs. That's actually crazy. So, wow. So what Tia Clayton has to do is she has to do very well in this race here in Poland. And then she has to run another race. I guess she has to run, well, there's another 100-meter race in Zurich that Melissa and Julien are going to be at. So Tia Clayton probably has to get there, and then she has to get to the Diamond League Final. Like, she needs 3 more races. That's the problem for Tia Clayton, now that I'm realizing, because she only has 2. That's interesting. I did not realize that. I did not realize that Tia Clayton does not have a spot to World Ultimate Champs. Interesting. Thanks for calling that out. Okay. At least 2 people will go under 10-7 in this race. I'm not in the time prediction. I can't predict the time because it's going to be so tough. It's going to be the weather, it depends on the weather, right? It's hard to tell with Julien. Her 60-meter power has somewhat diluted. Her 200 is now her strongest event. She looked good, though, in the race in Hungary, even though it wasn't a fast time. That race right after Monaco where she ran the 100 in like 10-8, she looked good. So I don't know. But we'll see. It's ironic how Julien seems to be doing better in the 200. She has the talent. She just had that untapped talent. So yeah. I got Melissa, Sha'Carri, Juju. Not mad at that. Julien is in form, and also her mental health is good. She's going to pull an upset. Julien will win. Mark my words. You all underestimated her at Olympic finals, and she actually won. Hey, she could do it. Julien and Melissa have that Sydney factor where they go to the sprint lab and lock in. Julien 10-6 loading. Hey, we'll see. Julien being one of the best in the 200 event she used to hate is funny. Yep, I know. I did the whole video kind of like breaking that down. You said Julien is losing her fast starts. She seems to be focusing more on her top speed and endurance for the 200. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Appreciate you. And yeah, if you're jumping in, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Always, we got these always every Tuesday. Melissa dropped 10-6. Maybe. I don't know. I can't like predict the times. The times are like just depending on the weather, but we'll hope it's fast, but like it also could just be competitive. I hope Julien pulls off the upset, but we can't blame folks for not picking her. Post Olympics in the 100, she's either done solo runs or not won against Melissa Jefferson Wooden, and she's still at 10-7. Yeah, in general, that's very, very fair. Very, very fair. I think the 60 meters do count to the 100-meter ranking points, though. So that would mean she have 4 races. So maybe Silesia, or if she goes to Zurich, might be enough to get her in the top 16 without a Diamond League final. No, the problem with Tia is that her 60-meter races, she has this 160-meter race that was 7:02, and then she had this 7:14. I don't know if that's going to be as high quality enough. And specifically, I think I explained this earlier. This is an F tier meeting. So this 7:02 is basically worth 0 points. Effectively, it's worth no points. This 7:14 it's B tier. This was in Stockholm, but it wasn't a good race. She finished 3rd place and she ran 7:1. So when you're going up against the likes of, like, as an example, Zeynep Dosso. Actually, yeah, let's just go with Zeynep Dosso. Zeynep Dosso hasn't had a good outdoor season, but her indoor season really stacked her up, right? She won the World Indoor Gold, and she won the World Indoor Tour meeting in Torun, right? So and she's run sub-7. So when you're looking at how Tia is going to be able to actually get into those rankings, she has a decently high barrier. She's going to need those 100-meter races. She's going to need those 100-meter races. So that's why I don't think those 60-meter races for Tia are just not going to count in a way that would be meaningful, like it was for a Zeynep Dosso, like it was for an Amy Hunt, right? Like that's the thing. Yeah, the categories, exactly. The categories, she ran the 7:02 at a category F. Is essentially meant nothing, right? She has to go to both. So Silesia, Zurich, and the Diamond League final. So we'll see. Okay, so and last one before I move over to the men's 100, are the Clayton twins the first twins to be an elite pair in track and field? Obviously, now we have the American twins coming, but who did it first at this level? The Barber twins. I don't know if someone noted, but the Barber twins. Oh, yeah, someone said it. So the Barber twins, they actually were like crazy elite. Not like, obviously, none of them got individual medals. Sprinting. None of them got individual medals, but they were printing. My bad. I don't know what I pulled up. Yeah, the Barber twins in sprinting. So they were like previously elite in the 2000s. They both got medals on the 4x1s, on the relays. They never got individual medals at either Worlds or Olympics, but they were like world class. And you're talking about like everything from the 100 all the way up to the 400. They were all around, sprint talent. So big shout out to the Barber twins. All right. Okay. Let me move over to the final event, the men's 100 meters, and then I'll get to some of the other comments. The men's 100 meters, this is stacked. This has every single athlete in it that you can imagine, except for Noah Lyles. So let me just note this down. 1, 2. Okay, so this has every single top athlete in it, except for Noah Lyles. Every single top 100-meter sprinter. Ajayi is in this field. Owen Ansa is in this field. Jordan Anthony is here. And for context, they're doing heats and then finals. So there's mad athletes, but they got to qualify into the final. Jordan Anthony, Jeremiah Zhu, Ronnie Baker, Kenny B, Akeem Blake, Sam Blaskowski, right? Trayvon Bromell is back. Christian Coleman, Andre DeGrasse, Emmanuel Esime, Ramel Glaive, Laki Kennedy. You have Kopich from Poland. You have Gift. You have Oblique Seville, Akani Simbine. Every single top athlete in this field is in this field, top 100-meter sprinter, except for Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles obviously noted that, and I said it at the top, but he said that he got a cramp at USA's, and then he posted on his Instagram stories a couple days ago that he had a hamstring issue, or not that he had a hamstring issue, but like his hamstring is healing. So we'll see what that's like. But listen, man, listen. I'm very curious to see what y'all think about this field. I see Ronnie Baker getting on the podium, Christian Coleman, Seville Revenge. Listen, I'm going to say this. What you call it? I would not sleep on Trayvon Bromell. Like, right. I think we're looking at a few top guys. I think and this is all due respect, but I think when we're looking at, I think Ajayi still has to be considered, even though he got the bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. I still think he has to be considered the upper tier of this field. Then you also have Trayvon Bromell. I think Trayvon is trending into a very good pocket. And I might argue after Trayvon had his child, shout out to him for starting a family. He took the time off, right? He skipped out on the Prefontaine Classic, skipped out on USA's, and skipped out on all these other things. And now he's back in it. He's that might have been good for him too, because he's running on all cylinders. So Trayvon might be good. And then I'm also looking at Oblique Seville. I think those three for me, Oblique, Trayvon, and Ajayi, are like my core top three if I was to pick something out. Kashane Thompson ended his season. He's done for 2026. But then you look at the other athletes, right? Ronnie Baker had an amazing USA running 9.88, right? Jordan Anthony cannot be slept on. I told you at USA's, Lance Brahman, he was like, yo, tell everyone Jordan Anthony's going to be fine. Like, he's going to be good. So who knows how Jordan Anthony's going to fare. Jeremiah Zhu obviously got the silver medal at European Champs. Kenny B didn't do well at USA's, got third place, edged out by Ronnie Baker. And I know we kind of saw him, on the ground there. I don't think there's video, but like he was being held up by Dennis Mitchell and kind of limping a little bit. But if he's entered here, that must indicate that he is in some good form, or he's at least healthy again. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. And I saw he was training, and he posted a video. I didn't get to see it, but he had a video about like recovery and stuff like that. So we'll see. Akeem Blake, unfortunately, Akeem hasn't been showing up. He should have done much better at Commonwealth Games. Didn't do well. Sam Blaskowski, also questions. Like he didn't do well in other races. So questions, we'll see. Christian Coleman didn't do well in the final at USA's, but in a one-off race like this, he did well at Prefontaine Classic. He did well in the heats and the semifinals at USA's. So I don't know. Andre DeGrasse, obviously already back under 10 seconds. He's already run 21.8. So Emmanuel Esime, obviously he's the Commonwealth Games champion, ran 9.89 to win that gold medal. Like he's in like Emmanuel Esime knows how to show up in these one-off races, right? Like, listen, Emmanuel Esime might be one of the more dangerous guys in this field. So we'll see. Romel Glaive, obviously just got the European Championship gold medal. Lockie Kennedy, 9.85 silver medal at the Commonwealth Games. So he's in some good, and he's been consistent. Gift, I would not sleep on Gift. 9.91 seconds for fourth place at the Commonwealth Games. His second best time ever, only behind the time that he ran at the World Championships last year. Gift is dangerous. Excuse me. Gift is very, very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes. That's actually weird. My bad. Emmanuel Esime did run 9.83. I don't know why this 9.89 is here. That's actually strange. Oh, wait. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Why is it that Emmanuel Esime has a 9.89 as his season's best and then 9.83 as his personal best? Because 9.89 was from the semifinals at the Commonwealth Games. But Lockie Kennedy has 9.85 as his season's best and personal best. So like because in the semifinals at Commonwealth Games, Lockie Kennedy ran 9.94. So this is just a mistake. I don't know what they did. Yeah. And Emmanuel Esime ran 9.83. My bad. That's I don't know why they got that wrong, but is what it is. But okay. And then you have the and so Gift, don't sleep on Gift. And then Oblique Seville. Well, shout out to Akane Simbine. A little more mixed this year, but we'll see how he does fare. And then Oblique Seville, world champion. He's been very consistent this year. Very, very consistent. His last race was the Monaco Diamond League, right? Right? Yeah. Did he run in London? Someone can cross check me. I forgot if Oblique ran in London. He might have, but he did win the Monaco Diamond League ahead of Jordan Anthony. But yeah, like Oblique is on one. So I don't know, man. This, I don't know. I actually don't even know. I initially said that, okay, Oblique, Ajayi, and Trayvon are my top three. But I don't know, man. Esime knows how to show up, right? Like, Esime knows how to show up. Oh, yes, okay. London Diamond League, that's where Ajayi beat out Oblique Seville. My bad. I forgot about that. Yes. Monaco Diamond League, Oblique Seville beat out Jordan Anthony. But then London Diamond League, Ajayi beat out Oblique Seville and Jordan Anthony. So thanks for that cross check. this field is like so mixed. And the interesting dynamic is that there are heats. There are heats. They don't have the heats up yet, but like that's why there's so many guys here. There's heats and finals. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And I'll say, I know people were down on Ajayi. I said it in like my initial recap or whatever. People were down on Ajayi getting third place, running 991 or whatever it was at the I'm sorry, 990 at Commonwealth Games. I don't think, sure, maybe a long season, but I think that race was actually very, very good for Ajayi. I think we shouldn't downplay Ajayi. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't downplay him. He could also really show up here. So we'll see. And who knows, maybe Owen Ansah, he just pops off and wins this whole thing and he runs 9-7 and then he goes on. Like, I don't know. And maybe Jordan Anthony, don't sleep on Jordan, right? He could pop off. All these guys, man, this is a stacked field. I honestly, I don't know. If I was to pick someone, I think I would pick either Oblique or Trayvon. I think I would. I know I'm OD. I know. Joe, imagine. Imagine Owen runs 9-7. And then like the next day, they're like, the verdict comes down that he officially is banned. That'd be wild. I know Germany no, Germany knows. Germany kept them off their 4x1, right? Like they're not gonna come for me. They know they kept them off the 4x1, knowing that they could end up with a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? like, come on, man. And wasn't Owen his interview? I forget. I saw a quote where he was like, he almost knew that he was gonna get banned. He just wanted to show up at European champs to just like prove people wrong or something along those lines. Like, I don't know, something like that. But listen, man, Germany knows what's up. So, but obviously that's not happening. Like, I'm not betting on that man to win this. But okay, so I'll say, I think I would pick Oblique or Trayvon to win this. I think with Ajayi, even though I do like the Commonwealth Games run, all things considered, with the rain, with the whatever, I do think there is an aspect of like, okay, maybe it could be a little bit longer of a season, maybe, but I don't know. The other thing is like when you add in all the other people, it's a little bit of a flip of a coin, right? Kennedy, obviously, he was peaking for Commonwealth Games, so I'm unsure like what he's going to do to translate here. Emmanuel Esime, I think I would put in that upper tier though. I would put him as like top 4 at worst. At worst, he finishes 4th place to me. Anything can happen, right? Obviously, but I think at worst. But anything can happen, right? Christian Coleman could pop off because it's a one-off race, right? Like Kenny B could be like, yo, I'm ready to be here. Jordan Anthony could really step things up. So honestly, I don't know, but I think in this race, I'm probably actually going to pick Trayvon Bromell if I was to pick someone. Mainly because he beat out the top 2 or the top 2 guys over the past couple of years, right? Oblique Seville, world champion, Noah Lyles, Olympic champion. Like he beat them out. He's run 991 this year, right? So I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna take him. And even when you look indoors, who won the gold medal indoors in the 60 meters? It was Jordan Anthony, but he's lost to Trayvon this year already, right? At the Paris Diamond League. And then you had Kashane Thompson, who got the silver medal. Okay, Kashane is not running anymore this year. He's done. Trayvon got the bronze in probably his best indoor season on paper ever. I think I'm going with Trayvon. I think. But again, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. So yes, he beat Jordan Anthony, who you've been hyping up all outdoor season and hasn't won a race. Yes. Oh, I've addressed this. If you're talking to me, I hope you're talking to me. And well, I don't know if I hope, but like if you're talking to me, I've addressed this a couple times on live streams. I've hyped up Jordan Anthony a few times. Already, like a few times this year, or especially earlier in the season, coming off the World Indoor Champs. But clearly he hasn't. Well, I actually will admit that like he hasn't had I think he's had a good season relative to what he's done in previous years. But obviously, yes, he hasn't been as good as like Ajayi. He hasn't been as good as maybe some of the other guys. So that's a thing. And I've been very consistent on my stance that regardless if I think that Jordan Anthony has the high quality talent to be an elite sprinter, that doesn't mean that he's going to be a medalist, right? I can't pick anyone for a medal until they actually get on the podium. right? Or I can't guarantee someone to be a medalist until they actually get on the podium, considering the landscape of guys that we have right now. I can't pick anyone over Noah Lyles or Oblique Seville as it stands, or Kashane Thompson as it stands, because they have the gold medals and the silver medals, right? Like that's what I'm looking at. So, all talent aside, we'll see. But shout out to Jordan Anthony, and I appreciate the comment. All right. Let's see. So, like I suspected, let me see. Suspected. It seems Noah had potential to run faster, seeing he ran 9.7 earlier in the season than he did in 2024. But I feel it's his natural peak. Second time he ran it and something happened after. Good point. Even though it was in the final, as opposed in the 200-meter final, as opposed to semis. But good point. Maybe. Yeah, they did keep him off the 4x1. This is Owen Ansa, right? Like Germany was like, you're not messing up our relay medal. Absolutely. And they got that medal, right? Like, man said Kopek is winning. Like, yeah, he about to steal this whole thing, right? Let's see. For him to run 9.7s as it relates to Noah Lyles, he's going to have less races in a year or figure out how to take his body there without breaking down. Yeah, good point. Maybe. Anthony won't make the final. I think Anthony is going to make the final. Oh yeah, Aaron, you said how was Kenny peaking for Commonwealth, but SMA wasn't? Yes, SMA was also probably peaking for Commonwealth Games, but SMA has had way more consistency on the circuit in one-off races than Kennedy. So that's why I look at Kennedy in a different tier, and he beat out Lockie Kennedy as well. I just think like when it comes to this field, Emmanuel SMA is more of a sure bet to be a top quality competitor based on what we've seen all throughout the year relative to a lot of other guys. So, Jordan Anthony has Ajayi to worry about. And yes, I actually have a video. I edited it, but I didn't record it. And I'm going to add to it after this Commonwealth Games happen. I have a video similar to like the Tate Taylor Gout video I did. I have a video that I don't know what I'll title it, but it was something along the lines of like, Ajayi is the athlete that we all or many expected Jordan Anthony to be, or something like that. Like, I'll gladly admit, like, okay, Jordan Anthony had expectations coming into the outdoor season. Maybe he hasn't met those expectations, but I don't think he's had a bad year. I think he's had a pretty good year, all things considered. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Okay, so for whoever makes the final, what they do in the heats may determine their performance in the final. Yeah, I agree. I trust Lance with Anthony. Even if it doesn't turn out to be his best season, I think that will be a factor in the future. I'm going to be honest, this already is Jordan Anthony's best 100-meter season by every measure. He's run a personal best. He's run sub 10 more times than he's ever had. Like he's literally had his best season. It's just the expectations were crazy. Exactly. One season will not defer his entire career. Exactly. It's his first season. You know what I'm saying? Oblique was on TikTok last week and asked if Jordan will run if he will run 9.7 in Silesia. And he said, yeah, man, 9.7 straight. So I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know. And anyone could like predict their times, maybe not predict their times. What if it's a torrential downpour in this 100 meters? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So that's why I didn't even mention times here, because I can't predict a time, right? Like I can't. This makes me respect Julien even more with Gatlin, who figured out how to run an entire season below 10.8 or 9.8. Noah's peak is 9.7 high, but he may have to figure out how to get there. I don't know, maybe. But Noah might also have more in the tank. I'm so late. Appreciate you for jumping in. We're about to end off in a few because we're coming up on the 2 hours. BBC going to be heartbroken once they see their new kings, Ramel Glaive and Azu, not even make the final. I'm not picking. I can't pick the final. I mean, I can't pick the final. I don't know. It's a toss up. Like there's too many guys, right? Ajayi, Jordan Anthony. Let me see. Ronnie Baker, Kenny B, Trayvon Bromell, Christian Coleman. I don't know. Actually, no. Scratch that, because Oblique Seville, Gift, Lockie Kennedy, Emmanuel Estimate. I don't know. I can't pick the 9 lanes. That's like too hard. It's way too hard. It's way too hard. Because I can't pick against Oblique and Emmanuel Estimate. I just know 4 people, in my opinion, are definitely making the final. Oblique Seville, Emmanuel Estimate, Ajayi, and Trayvon Bromell. Those are the 4 that I'm most confident in any given moment right now. But then you add in the Jordan Anthonys, the Ronnie Bakers, the Kenny B's, the Christian Colemans, Andre DeGrasse, Lockie Kennedy, like Gift Leolilla, like I kind of see. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's stacked. It's stacked. Everybody is confident, right? Everybody's confident. Yes, it's Jordan Anthony's first pro season. I'm sure he's going to work out the kinks and get things going. Agree. Shout out to Jordan Anthony for winning an indoor gold on his first professional season. 9-7 and coming from Oblique. I want to see Tate Taylor running with these top guys. I mean, I'm good with Tate Taylor waiting. Like, don't rush Tate Taylor, right? Like, don't rush him into these races. And then, he's just getting started. He just won, triple gold at the U20s. You know what I'm saying? You keep saying, it's a one-off race. The fact that it's 2 races, Oblique will win and it won't be close. You give Trayvon the benefit of the doubt, but not Oblique. Well, okay, yes. One-off race in the sense that it's a meet that's one race, or one-off, my bad. It's a Diamond League race. Yes, there's heats in their finals. 100%, that's my bad. The reason I'm giving Trayvon my personal, I'm not mad. As I say, anything can happen, right? We can end up seeing Kenny B win this 100 meters, right? We can end up seeing Jordan Anthony win this 100 meters. We can end up seeing Lockie Kennedy win this 100 meters. Anything can happen. I think we need to get out of the notion that if you make one prediction, then that means it's 100% and nothing else can happen. Everyone can hold multiple thoughts at the same time. So Oblique can definitely win. I'm just edging Trayvon because of what I have seen this year, where Trayvon Bromell has beat out Oblique Seville, he's beat out Noah Lyles, and he's beat out everyone else in this field. So, like, that's why I'm like, I'm personally slightly edging out Trayvon. But as you say, Oblique can also win, right? Oblique just lost to Ajayi, but he also just beat out Jordan and the rest of the field at the Monaco Diamond League, right? So that's why I say it's not even giving the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying, based on what I've seen this year, I'm picking someone by an edge, by barely an edge. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So yeah, that's what we got. Let's see. The final is going to be 9 athletes. I'm pretty sure it's 9 lanes. Yep, 9 lanes. With max win, Noah may maybe can shoot a 9.6 mid high. Jordan may have a peak in his range too. Both windy 9.7s. Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, I'm a low key, like, I can't even do the game of predicting times though, because it's like so impossible. But once the athletes run those times, then it gets easier for me to gauge. Weather is such a massive factor that, like, we predict the times and then they get a headwind of like +2 or negative 1.5 or negative 2.0, and it's like it's out the window. You know what I'm saying? We put too much pressure on new up and coming athletes. Yeah, Kenny B winning would give him some confidence. 100%. I hope Simbine figures it out. Luckily, it's an off and entrepreneur year for him with his classic race this year. Yeah, put together a great race. It's the basis. Let me just get to Simbine. I'm gonna come back. Simbine, I like him, but he reminds me of Talu. He runs as fast or as slow as he needs to not make the podium. I don't know. It's a basis of the prediction that we are examining. There must be logic to your prediction. Well, I just gave the logic, and I gave it earlier on. As I said, Trayvon Bromell beat out Oblique Seville this year. Trayvon Bromell beat out Noah Lyles this year. So he's beaten out the Olympic champion, the world champion, and 2 of the 3 guys from the world podium last year. Kashane isn't running this year, so he's ended his season. That's one aspect. Then on top of that, he's beat out everyone else possible this year, right? So that's why I'm going with Trayvon. And he's had his best indoor season this year. The only person that he lost to in the 60 was Jordan Anthony, but Jordan Anthony has lost to Trayvon this year, right? So that's where I'm going with, okay, I'm giving Trayvon an edge. But as I said, Oblique Seville can win, right? Like, anybody can win. A lot of these guys can very likely win. Andre Grass could win this race, right? But that's why I'm saying. But I'm not saying that Trayvon Bromell is going to blow out this field. We could see a race like in Paris where he barely edged out Noah Lyles for the win, right? Like, it could literally be exactly that. This is a stacked field. Like, you can't downplay any athlete in this field. And that's why I'm saying Trayvon by a slight edge. But, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I stopped calling these races. Yeah, I'm low-key. I'm still even deciding if I'm going to do predictions, like, the full top 8 predictions or whatever for World Ultimate Champs, that I do for like Olympics and Worlds. I don't even know if I'm going to do those anymore because, like, I don't even know if it's worth it. Like, it's so many, these things are like up in the air. Yes. Okay. And a few other comments. We can't exactly compare Jordan and Ajayi fully yet. We all know that a lot of top athletes tend to struggle in their first year as pro. So let's see how Ajayi does next year in his first pro year. That's actually a good point, right? What if Ajayi has some struggles next year? Then are we going to look at like, oh, he was a fluke? I don't know, but it's an interesting thing. Trayvon's season's best is 991. Do we see him setting a huge season's best here? I think the winner will have to run 97. Again, maybe, but the wind and the conditions are going to determine that for us, right? Like that's the question. All right. And I agree on the Bromell take. I appreciate that. Anyone can. I think a lot of guys can win this. Like this field is stacked, but it'll be close. But all right. Okay. He said, would they dare put Kennedy and Blaskowski in the same heat? I don't know. Allison did great her first year pro. Yeah, I mean, granted, there's a ton of examples of athletes who did great the first year out of pro. But there's also a ton of athletes who didn't do great their first year of pro. So it's not like there's one consensus like most athletes don't do as well, but it's like, who knows, right? It's a mixed bag. But I think you have to give athletes grace if they don't do as well their first year pro, right? Like you can't make a blanket statement like there's no like clear explanation to a degree. That's what I'll say. It's fun to do. Yes, it's always fun to do predictions and debate about them. Absolutely. But sometimes people just be going too hard. Like, and obviously I'm not even like, to me, it's not even that serious because I've been doing predictions at least since 2023. Maybe I did in 2022. I don't remember. But like, sometimes people just be doing too much in terms of like the comments and all that. And it's like, I don't know. And people also don't go back to your predictions to like say when they were wrong. They'll only say when you were wrong. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, so I don't even know, but we'll see. All right. So I'm gonna get to the last few comments, but Anderson, do you think Noah will compete in the 200 at World Ultimate Champs? He's coming back from an injury and doesn't plan to race until then. Yeah, I think as of now, he's gonna run the double. We'll see if he actually does that, but I think he's gonna run the double. But I think he's probably more likely to run actually, I don't know which event he's more likely to run. If he was to only do one event, I don't know, but he's slated to run the double there, so we'll see. Dope. Okay, all right, we're gonna close out. It has been just over the 2-hour mark, and we covered a lot in Lausanne and Silesia. I probably actually might put out a separate video on Friday about the Silesia Diamond League, the men's 100, only because it's a stacked field. So we'll see, but appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, make sure you like this live stream, and yeah, tune in. If you haven't already as well, make sure you subscribe to the Final Like Extra channel where I do like my quick takes. I realize a lot of people aren't subscribed there, but yeah, appreciate y'all. And yeah, have a great rest of the Tuesday. Really, really means a lot for y'all to be joining in. And yeah, thanks so much. And I'll see y'all next time.